Okay, Shalom, Shalom. Kwam Yashala, Kolaloyim, La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Chachach Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth and just want to take the water to all the H.I.M and Aqua that's out here sincerely keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. Zachanan the Walk, just coming at you with another quick lesson. Pray that it's edifying by the Spirit and, just a little touch on them wars, rumors of wars. We're going to stay on top of these things. The things that Yahweh Shai spoke of, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus, but his name is Yahweh Shai, which means that he's a savior and deliverer in Paleo Hebrew. There's no letter J in Hebrew. Letter J was invented in 1524, so they wasn't calling him Jesus when he walked the earth. That is something made up by the so-called white man, and they also gave you a white image of him, which actually that's false as well. He's a dark melanated man with woolly hair, deep voice, austere man, which means that he was rough, he was rigid, he was, straightforward, not this effeminate looking so-called white guy that they show you that people are accustomed to, seeing. So now that we got that established, but like I said again, this is going to be a quick one. It says Russia threatens doomsday if Ukraine attacks Crimea, Russia media. Okay, so if you're familiar with Crimea, same area, Russia took over Crimea the same way that they're taking over Ukraine right now, right? Okay, so let's get a little bit of this. The deputy chairman of Russia's Defense Council on Sunday said there will be a swift, tough action that would mean doomsday for Ukraine if Crimea is attacked. Okay, Dmitry Medvedev made his threat in a statement to Russian state media. Some ecstatics, bloody clowns who pop up there with some statements now and then are trying to threaten us. I mean, attacks on Crimea and so on. Medvedev told a group of World War II veterans on in Volgograd, Slovakia for pronouncing these names wrong. Should anything of the kind happen, they will be faced with a doomsday, very quick, tough, immediately. There will be no avoiding it, he continued. But they keep provoking the general situation by such statements. Russia invaded Crimea in 2014 and annexed the Ukrainian region that year. Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine is entering its 21st week, and some of the heaviest fighting recently has been in the eastern Ukraine, close to Crimea. Mikhail Podolyak, who's a top advisor to the Ukraine president Vladimir Zelensky, said Medvedev was merely a little man, forgotten and hit by history, trying to seem serious and scary, but in reality, causing only pity, a little more, and I'll show you all. Show what? Kill another child? Hey, they don't seem. Hey, the so-called white man don't mind. They don't give a shit about who they kill. They kill their own, man. So that's why it's so important that you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans wake your asses up. Stop thinking that you're Americans, because these so-called white people that stole America, they don't care nothing about you. Trust me when I tell you that. And your true nationality is your Hebrew Israelites. So they knew that they were stealing or kidnapping or, human trafficking royalty. They knew that you were royal people. See, they knew that you knew, we had the best of advisors, the best of cooks, the best of carpenters, the best. They left the little, the ones that didn't have any skill behind. They took royalty when they kidnapped you Israelites, man. They took the people straight from the king's house, the ones that knew about money, economy, economics, weather, you name it, gardening, things of that nature. They, the top herdsmen, the top, scribes, the top writers or recorders, they knew who they were grabbing when they grabbed Israel up, man. Now, what they didn't want you to do was keep that heritage when we came here. They just wanted to dumb you down and work the shit out of you because they knew you had skill, But when it came down to the so-called smarts of things, it just is what it is, man. The so-called white man has done a lot of treacherous stuff. So just beware. This man is not for you, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Stop calling yourselves Americans. Pray that this place it falls. Because as soon as it fall, as soon as our Lord come, man, and we're gonna get out of here, because the Lord is coming for the elect of Israel, man. And this is a beautiful thing right here, because this is Edomites fighting against Edomites right here. The so-called white man. This is the Egyptians against the Egyptians, according to prophecy. Okay, it says Zelensky responded to Medvedev's doomsday remark by saying it wasn't a sober remark and the Ukrainians wouldn't be intimidated. Today, another not sober statement. See, if it wasn't for these damn Americans, Ukraine would have been they're not winning even with America helping them. You see, they can talk all that shit because they're using the America's taxpayers' money to fund weapons, to fund food. They seem like America are Ukrainians. Hell, they seem to care more about them than they actually care about the people of America, right? Okay, it says what he says. But look how cynical it is to say the same thing today on the text anniversary of Russia's destruction of the Malaysian Boeing in the sky over Ukrainian Donbass. It says his doomsday remark was likely sparked by Ukrainian Minister of Defense. Oh, they got them funny ass names, so I'm not going to try to pronounce it. Said on Saturday, saying that Russian military facilities in the occupied Crimea are on the target list to strike by Ukrainian troops. Okay, so it's going off into that airline that was shot down. I don't know if you remember that. It was 2014, July 17th, today, basically. They shot down a citizen's aircraft, killed 298 passengers. 193 of those passengers was from the Netherlands, right? The Ukrainian president called it terrorism by the Russians. Meanwhile, in Russia, state media claimed that the Malaysian airline was shot down by Ukrainians. So, Esau going back and forth with the lies. You never really can tell who done what. But anyway, the purpose of this is, we're just sticking to the script when it comes straight down to Matthew chapter 24, which, Yahweh Shah was going into what will be going on in the last days just before his coming. Matthew 24:3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am a Mashiach, the Christ, basically, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. All these things are the beginning of sorrows. So we're going through those phases right now, right? Okay, so matter of fact, give me 1 sec. It was another story. If I still okay, so Lakia, I had to go off into DuckDuckGo. I thought I had it saved in my history on the some of the news spots that I was checking out, but this is going off into Taiwan, right? Now let's go into Reuters. I think that's the one that I was actually reading. And this is going off into China has demanded that the United States immediately cancel its latest arms sale to Taiwan. The Chinese state broadcaster reported on Monday. So America is still selling weapons to Taiwan, right? So America is pretty much, this is modern day Rome. They're spreading themselves too thin. See, they're trying to fight a superpower. They're going up against a superpower like Russia and supplying Ukraine with weapons, right? And then they're going up against a superpower like China and they're supplying Taiwan with weapons, right? And then not to mention all these other places as well. They made this deal with Israel, right? So you got all these different things that the United States is spreading themselves too thin with. They're dealing with too many enemies at one time. And see, China and Russia, those are superpowers that can actually handle the United States pretty much on their own, other than them having those NATO nations. That's, and those NATO nations are not that strong like that. The NATO nations are not strong. You got America, then you have, I think your second Secondary, strongest military as far as NATO is Turkey. And then the rest of them are just kind of just stash spots, so to speak. Mediocre stash spots where America can stash weapons at and little stuff like that, as far as like strategic strike areas and little stuff like that. But see, Russia and China is not going for it. And China they've been poking at China and they've been poking at the bear of Russia. So keep your eyeballs peeled because we're living in the last days, man. The Lord spoke of these wars and rumors of wars, and it's going to be actual war that's going to break out, though. It's not going to just be, and it's going to be nuclear war. Because, see, these leaders are not just mentioning war now. They're not just mentioning fighting. They're mentioning nuclear war to take your ass all the way out, you see? Because it's nuclear weapons on the table now. World War I, World War II, those were a little bit different, but even though America, had that atomic bomb, so they kind of had the whole globe on lock and had everybody shook and scared as hell because they didn't want to get bombed. But now all these other nations, they have ICBMs, man, intercontinental ballistic missiles of their own. North Korea, and America is doing nothing but causing discord among brethren. That's an abomination to Yahweh H.I.M, according to Proverbs chapter 6. Where you're causing discord among brethren, because North Korea and South Korea, those are the same people. But what does America do? He splits them. He separates them, right? Because Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, he's a cunning hunter. He divides and conquers. So he divided the Koreans, right, into a North and South. The North Koreans are now against the South Koreans, and the South Koreans are allies with the so-called white man in America, right? So, and it's the same thing with Taiwan and China. The so-called white man went in there. He done separated them. The Taiwanese and the Chinese, those are the same. Those are the exact same people. But they have discord amongst each other because that's what Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, does. He conquers. He divides and conquers. Right. Same thing with Russia and Ukraine. Those are the same people. But they're all Edomites anyway. Hell, they're actually the same people as these damn so-called white people in America. Their biblical name is Esau, Edom, the damn the wicked that the Bible speaks of. But just wanted to just touch on this for a hot sec to just throw a few news stories out there that ran across today, because we have to keep up with World War III basically, because these are the last of the prophecies. Jacob's trouble, and of course that chocolate chip cookie, if you know what I'm talking about, that MOTB. They want to put that grain of rice in you. They want to put that cell phone in your ass. Those are the last prophecies. And those are coming to pass as we speak. And then when you go into Revelations 12 and 12, it talks about they know that they have but a short time. You see? But see, when it comes straight down to it, let me get this. It's Esau about to get down out here. Esau about to get down out here. So, hey, be circumspect. Let me put in that third woe. Trying to think where that's at. Because this is World War III about to pop. Revelations 11 and 14. The second woe is past, which was World War II. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And see, it may seem like a long time to us, but to the Lord, that's quickly. Because a day to the Lord is like 1,000 years, roughly paraphrasing. Or 1,000 years, Salakia, is like a day to the Lord. You see, it may seem to see our life is but a shadow. But to the Lord, I'm just milliseconds, man, to him, man. Because he's the eternal, man. You see what I'm saying? So that third woe is about to happen. And this is a part of the last prophecies, man. This is a part of it. And it is what it is, man. So just like I said again, be circumspect. Keep watching the news. Keep, because the Lord said to watch and pray. What are we watching for? Things like this. We're watching for the last of the prophecies. He said to walk circumspectly, Measure thou the time diligently, according to Second Esdras. We got to measure the times. How do you measure the times? You measure the times by what the Lord was saying in these scriptures, man. So with that, pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashala.